What's up guys, welcome to the Sound Design channel. My name is La and today we're going to look at 5 key elements from Böhmer's sound. So let's have a look at what we've got. Cool, yeah, so it's this really nice, warm, melodic sound. Yeah, that's really signature from Böhmer. I used some patches from Serum to make this. I might do one in Diva if you guys want to see that. You can just let me know in the comments. But yeah, let's go through some of the things in here, including the drums. Everything is taken from the Böhmer pack, which Production Music Live did together with Böhmer. Cool, so let's have a look at the drums, which is also taken from the Böhmer pack. First, we'll go through the kick. So it's just a really nice soft kick. It's got a nice punch to it. It's not too much in your face. It's got a short subtail. And that's it really. It's nothing too magical there. I didn't do any crazy external processing, just a little bit of an EQ taking away the real click in the sound. That's it. And we'll move on to the other drums. So we've got these nice loops here which are making up the top end. I really like using shaker loops for the top end because they have a really nice human feel to them. And then we've got these kind of ride loops as well. Also got some little perks in there. And then we've got this main clap loop with a nice shaker in there as well. And then the perks themselves, it's just basically 3 clap layers, or just 2 clap layers, and another one is kind of filling the space in between. Added quite a bit of reverb to one of the layers, and then the other one's a lot more dry. So we've got this kind of knock, and then this clap, and then this little tick thing. Nothing crazy with the processing, just EQ to get rid of the real lows in those sounds. One thing to note is something that I do within my arrangement is I will drag over parts of the drums a little bit early before the drums start. So rather than having everything start at the same time, I like to just kind of drag over the MIDI that I already have. So by dragging over this end part here, I'm essentially taking this part, this end of the section. So whenever I'm programming my drums, I'll always make sure that I do a little kind of fill or something at the end of 4 bars. So rather than just doing the same kind of clap pattern here and there, I'll then just do something right at the end. And it's really handy just for when you want to do a little drum fill here. I'll just show you. So, everything is starting just before. But yeah, I just wanted to show that as a cool little drum hack. Alright, so let's have a look at the things that are being made in Serum. So the MIDI that I've used for the melodies is taken from this MIDI pack here. So it's the MIDI that comes with the Böhmer pack. Really, really nice sounds, really nice melodies and progressions. So the bass is just the bottom note taken from this chord progression. You can see here, it's grayed out. We've got the G, G, A sharp, D. And if we look at the bass, G, G, A sharp, D. So the reason why I've took it out of the chord progression is just so they can sit nicely in the mix together, so they're not layering on top of each other. So let's have a look at the bass. So this bass is really, really simple. It's taken from the bass basic deep, and all it is 2 oscillators, which are these sawtooths here. It's just the default settings within Serum, and then one of them is pitched up, and one of them is pitched down. And one of them is left on the default octave. And then there's no modulation going on with the envelope. It's just going through this MG low 12. So this is the lower octave taken away. And then back on. So you can hear that that's adding the nice body to the sound. There's a little bit of tape saturation here. Let me just turn this off and on. It's adding a really small amount. It's just kind of gluing a little bit, adds a little bit of volume as well and drive, but it's not doing too much essentially. And the important thing to note with this is that for this bass, you don't want something to be really dominant. You want something that's just sitting nicely and kind of warming the track adding a nice bit of sub texture there and a bit of sub frequencies, and it's just going to layer nicely with the kick and the chords. Because for Böhmer's music, usually the chords are really the star of the show, and so we'll have like a separate synth for those chords, and they will just like really nicely harmonize together rather than having a bass that's like super in your face. It's all about the chords essentially. So let's have a look at those chords. Oh, sorry, I'll just show you the processing here. So for the bass, real simple. It's just two EQs. One of them is before the compressor and one of them is after. The reason why I have one after is just because it's going to get rid of a little bit of the click from the compressor. I'll take this away. Put it back on. Yeah, it just gets rid of it a little bit. We don't really need these frequencies just here because we just want this main sub area here. But that's it. Let's have a look at the chords now. So this is also pretty simple. There's a little bit of modulation and stuff going on here. It's a pad called Profit within the Melodic House pack. Yeah, this preset here. It says Rise, but it's actually Profit. And so what it is just this basic MG, which is just a nice wavetable within Serum. It's kind of a cross between a sawtooth and a square, I guess. Let me just solo it. You can play between these. It's going to give it like a nice different tone. It's going to be more rounded or more smooth. There's a little bit of unison to spread it to the sides and a little bit of detune. And it's going through this German low pass filter. So with this German low pass filter, we have a little bit of the mix taken away, which means that it's not going to be a super heavy filter. It's going to be letting in a little bit of the air and the buzz from the sound. That would be if it was all the way closed off. Hopefully you can hear that. It does make a bit of a difference to the sound. So with the LFO, which is the only thing that's really doing some modulation here, is it's being attached to the cutoff filter and it's being attached to the noise oscillator. All it is just a triangle kind of waveform within the LFO where it's opening the sound and then closing it down again. See here? So it becomes a bit more bright and then it closes down as it meets the next part of the progression. Yeah, that's it. There's a little bit of reverb here, which is just giving it a sense of space, but it's really not doing too much either. It's not super strong. With this sound, with the chords, as I said before, they're kind of the star of the show, and so they want to be a little bit more present in the mix. If you put too much reverb on them, they're going to sit really far back in the mix, and you're not going to really hear like the beauty of those chords. So let's move on to the pluck. So this pluck here, it's just like it's just repeating this F in octaves. You see here. We'll have a look at it. This is the only sound within the Serum patches that is taken from a separate pack. It's taken from the Inner Bloom pack from Production Music Live also. And it's just this bell sound. I was just essentially looking for something that was nice and subtle. So we've got this sound which is made up of basically two sine waves. This is a little bit more of a sawtooth. So it's got one that's pitched up. So let me just focus on that one. And then we've got this lower one. So this has got some modulation going on with it. We've got this bend plus and minus, and it's just some filter modulation. And what I'm doing is with this LFO is I'm just moving in a waveform a little bit over time. See here. So as it becomes more of a sawtooth, the sound becomes a little bit more defined. And then when it's a bit more of a sine wave, it's a little more softer. Both of these have a bit of unison on, which is spreading the sound. And then I've attached that same... No, I didn't attach that there. I attached this envelope, sorry. So this envelope, envelope 1, is being attached to the cutoff filter and the noise oscillator. By doing that, it makes the noise kind of move at the same time, or the same envelope, as the cutoff and as the main sound. So let me just bypass that so you see what I mean. Add that back on. Take it away from the noise. Really good way of actually like making your own shakers and stuff like that. It's just having this kind of quick envelope here. So anytime that you're making a pluck or something like that, you want this kind of shape, this quick attack, kind of medium decay, kind of play around with that to taste, and a pretty short sustain, and then a pretty quick or pretty short release, kind of medium. You can do that to taste as well, and that's how you'll get that really nice quick sound. With the effects, we've got quite a lot of chorus, reverb, and delay, and the reason for having so much of these effects on is just because we want it to sit quite far back in the mix. We don't want it to be really dominant and dry like this. We want it to be a bit more spaced out. The chorus is going to add a bit of kind of wobble to the sound. The delay is going to repeat the sound and just keep it kind of floating around your head, especially with this ping pong on. And then the reverb is going to give it a sense of space, essentially. And that's it for the pluck. Nothing else to show there. Oh yeah, I added a little auto pan as well, so it's just making the sound go left and right really slowly. I've got the rate pretty slow here, and the amount isn't super strong like this. It's just like kind of subtle. And you'll hear, if you've got speakers on or headphones, you'll hear it be going left and right. Cool. Let's go to the swell. This is something that's very typical for Böhmer, just having this kind of like wave thing that comes in and out. All it's doing with the MIDI is just playing the same chord which are above, and it's just layering on top of it essentially. I think I might have added an upper note here as well. And the swell is taken from this same pack. Yeah, these swells. I just changed the notes a little bit, as you can see. So there's this upper part, and then it just goes a little bit lower here, where I've just, I think maybe, yeah, lowered some of the notes. Nothing too crazy there. And so let's have a look at the sound design. So this looks a little bit more complex, but all it is just these two waveforms are a little bit more weird and more complex, I guess. It's just this electric guitar wavetable and then this cream one. This is the actual one that's doing the most bulk of the sound. So if I take off this one and we listen to this, I'm going to take off the noise oscillator. Oh, where is it? Let me just go here. Yeah, so you'll hear it's doing something, but really not much. It's just adding kind of a bit of digitalness to the sound. And then we've got this main cream one. So yeah, that's the, you know, real meat of the sound. It's just kind of like a sine wave mixed with, I don't know, some craziness. But it's got like quite a soft tone to it. It's not too harsh. Both got a bit of unison on again, and that's just going to spread the sound. A little bit of detune. The modulation that we've got going on is just this LFO1 has this kind of like soft shape, this kind of rising shape, and then closes down quite quickly. And that's being attached to the noise oscillator, which is actually not on right now. And then the cutoff filter, and I think just some other stuff as well. Yeah, this reverb and something else. The sub, but that's being turned off. It's not being used. So yeah, if you want this pad straight away, just grab the deep state pad, which is within the melodic house patch. Again, that'll be linked in the description down below. This envelope one is not doing much. It's just being attached to this cutoff here. It's actually just opening the cutoff straight away, and then it's adding a little bit of release there. But if you wanted it to come in a little bit more subtle, you could do like this, or like this. You know, that's the way you can get that real like swelling feeling out of the sound. But for me, I wanted it to come in straight away. Cool, that's it. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of effects. Just the chorus, reverb, and delay again. Same reasons as before. We want it to be quite far back in the mix, so there's quite a few effects on there. It looks like the mix is down, but because they're actually being attached with this macro here. So you can assign these macros to things, and they're going to increase this amount, but you won't see it increase here. But it will be increasing if you increase it here. So that's going to be increasing the rate on the chorus. As you can hear that it's actually modulating it, even though it's not moving there. Yeah, let's take that off. Cool. So one last thing to show on this sound is we've got this large octave shimmer. So I was trying to find something to emulate the Valhalla shimmer, which is something that I use a lot. And this is within Ableton. So this is just the convolution reverb, I believe. And it's just a preset called large octave shimmer. When you load up this preset, you'll see that the pitch is actually down to the octave below. So it's down 12 semitones. All I've done is just I've put it up 12 semitones. This is doing quite a lot for the sound. Let me just show you with it on and off. Then off. So it's adding more decay to the sound. It's adding this kind of pretty sparkliness, and that's because of this shimmer and increase in pitch. What's happening is the decay tails are basically just being pitched up 12 semitones. So it's giving it this real sparkly feel, which is really nice. I really like this kind of style of reverb, especially for this kind of music. Cool. So that is it. That is everything I think I've covered. I might have missed something. I'm sorry if I did, but let me know in the comments if there's something that I might have missed, and I'll try and answer them as soon as I can. If you want to see this more in Wavetable or in Diva, let me know and I'll try and cover it as well. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you very much. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.